Hey everybody! I just need to close this door before we start. There we go. So, here we are, Top Tips Tuesday. I'm Vicky Blades, I'm your video coach, and today we're going to be talking all about my story video. And I'm going to explain what a story video is. Okay, so if you're with me live, I'd love to say hello. Pop a comment in the box, pop me an emoji, a like, give me a wave. I'd love to know that you're here with me live. If you're watching on replay, I'd also like to know. So please put hashtag replay in the comments. I feel really out of practice. It's been a while since I've done one of these lives. I don't know about you, but I sometimes lose a bit of momentum when it comes to kind of posting on social media and getting on with things, and also feel a little bit, what's the word, kind of out of alignment. Like sometimes I'm just posting for the sake of posting, which doesn't feel real and genuine and authentic, and I think doesn't give the right energy. So I am, and if you haven't been with me before and watched any of these hashtag Top Tips Tuesdays, then you should know these trainings are only about 15 minutes. Hopefully you can grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and just get some little nuggets of training wisdom all about videos for your products. I've got a notification telling me that my internet connection is not great, so I'm hoping I'm still live, and if nothing else, you'll be able to watch this back and it'll all be good. Okay, so Vicky Blades, your video coach, talking about my story video. The reason I'm talking about different types of videos, I think the last 2 or 3 trainings have also been about the intro video, the interview video. This forms part of my video coaching academy. Every week we look at different kinds of videos that you could be doing for your business that will help to bring in viewers, buyers, connect with your audience, build the know, like and trust factor. And one of the really important videos, I think, is the My Story video. Now, I'm going to fess up here. I don't think I've actually done a My Story video. I'm thinking back to my YouTube library. I may have done one about how I got started, my first client, how she inspired me to start my business, and that is a perfect story video. I've definitely done some long Facebook posts and a blog along stories, my story, but for some reason, this is one that I haven't done so much, even though I tell my clients they should definitely do a My Story video. Okay, so what is a My Story video? Well, as it says in the title, it's a story about you. Now, there are lots of versions of stories. There are lots of different versions of the same story. So for example, if we take how you got started in your business, why you are doing what you are doing, what led you along this particular path, what were you doing before, why did you change, why is this business that you're running now your happy place where you want to be. That is what I call my business journey story. And people find that fascinating. If you've ever seen Simon Sinek's TED Talk, and you can find him on YouTube, or read any of his books, you'll know that he says we buy with our emotions. So we don't particularly buy for practical reasons, we like to buy emotionally, because we need to know why you're doing what you're doing. And once we connect with your why, we feel like you are a friend, a kindred spirit, someone that we like, someone that we'd like to get to know better. And those are the people that will eventually become your buyers. So doing a business story, a story about how you got started, is absolutely brilliant. And I highly recommend that if you haven't done that already, you think about making that video this week, if not later today. Hop on your telephone, hit record, and tell us all about how you got started and why you are doing what you are doing. The wonderful thing about stories like that is that you've almost always overcome some adversity. There's always an interesting reason why you decided to change your career, change your job, change your location, or change your mind about who it is you serve and what it is you do. Why do you make the products that you make? Why are you an entrepreneur? How come you started your own business? Was that always a dream of yours? Was it that you jumped off the corporate ladder and decided to go it alone? Those stories are so interesting, because we all feel that we've been there as well. We've been at a crossroads. We've had a time in our lives when we thought, well, I wanted to do this. Why haven't I done it? I always had an ambition to run my own business. Maybe the time is now. So that inspiration that you had to start your business is going to help inspire others too. So telling your business story, how you got started, and the adversity that you had to overcome. All classic stories, plays, movies, you name it, they all have a moment of conflict for the hero or the heroine, and they have to overcome that in order to move the story along and get the story to its conclusion. So things like, did you perhaps have financial issues that meant you were hesitant about starting your own business? Perhaps you didn't have any support from your friends or family. Perhaps what you're doing seemed a crazy idea to everybody that knew you. Or perhaps lots of things happened in your life that meant you points of connection between you and your audience. Because again, we love to watch people who've overcome hardships, who've overcome adversity, who've overcome obstacles, because that's how we live our lives. We are constantly having to overcome obstacles, large and small. So again, that makes us warm to you. That makes us think, yeah, I get it. Like, that could happen to me too, or that did happen to me. And all of this forms that connection that we want with our audience and with our viewers. So telling a story, particularly including any kind of adversity that you had to overcome, telling moments of inspiration that you had, because we're all looking for inspiration. And if you had a moment of inspiration, perhaps, we can think, yeah, I could do that too. So that is all about building that beautiful connection between you and your viewers. And I'm just glancing down at my notes because I've got some other ideas as well. Talking about inspiration, did you have an aha moment at some time in your career, in your business? Was there a time when everything seemed to fall into place? Was there a person that you followed online? Was there a TED talk? Was there a book or a podcast or something that somebody said that suddenly made you go, right, I get it. Now I know what I'm going to do. Or perhaps you had a moment where you felt like your spiritual guide spoke to you and said, this is the path you need to be on. Anything like that is just fascinating to us. That's exactly the kind of things we want to hear about, because again, either it's happened to us or we want it to happen to us. And every time you talk about things like that, we're going to go, yeah, I get it. I've been there, or I want to be there. And all of this is about taking a walk in your customers' shoes. Lots of people start a business because they have their own personal need. So often coaches will coach on things that they needed at one point in their lives. Perhaps they've overcome toxic relationships. Perhaps they've learned how to lose weight or get fit. Perhaps they've been inspired to completely change direction in their career. And as a result, they are now helping people do the same thing. And that's absolutely key, because we need to hear that story from you. We need to hear that you were once where I am now, so that we can follow you and think, well, if she's done it, that means I can do it too. That is golden. That energy, that inspiration, that admiration that we have for people who do the things that we want to do is absolutely key. And that's what you're getting when you're doing a My Story video. So imagining where your customer is at, imagining their pain points, what is it they want to overcome, what are the results they want to get. Obviously, that's all part of your marketing and your kind of whole business, really. But if you can encapsulate that into a story about how you did it, how you overcame that issue or that habit, or how you changed your life, then whoa, we are 100% with you. That's what we want to know too. So story videos are about taking a walk in your customers' shoes and inspiring them and letting them know that yes, it might be hard, yes, it's not always easy, but you have found the solution. So that is a story that you can tell. And a lot of that will probably be around how you started your business, why you started your business, the clients that have inspired you, your early clients, the feedback that you got. And some of the stories will be, as I said at the beginning, why I started my business, how I started my business, what I overcame. You can talk about things like my career path, things that I've done before I ended up here, the things that perhaps have happened to me in my life that meant I was prepared for this. This is kind of where my life has led me, unwittingly or wittingly. You can talk about the best advice you ever got and how that advice perhaps spurred you on to make changes in your life. You can, of course, do personal stories as well, and vulnerable stories. We talk a lot about vulnerability in marketing this past year or so, because social media has changed from becoming entirely aspirational to being much more authentic. And the reason we connect with vulnerable stories is because, again, we see ourselves in that story with you. Yes, we have had difficult moments. Yes, we have had things to overcome. And maybe, in fact, at the moment we're in that difficult place and we can't see a way out. But you're there to tell us that there is a solution, that there is hope, that there is a step-by-step process. Perhaps everything you've done you can kind of distill into a simple step-by-step strategy that you want to share with the world to stop them being in the place where you were kind of wondering, how does this work? How do I carry on? So we're talking about how you were once in your customer's shoes and then what happened next. And that's a really good it's actually an improv game that we used to do a lot, is what next, and then what, and then what. And that's how the story progresses. So you can start with, you know, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I wasn't sure what to do, and then what? And then one day I had a conversation with someone I met on the train, and then what? And then they told me about this wonderful podcast, and then what? And so on, and so on, and so on. Now, one caveat here is I don't want these videos to be too long. It is easy once you get on the camera and once you've hit record to kind of think, oh, I'll just mention this as well, and then maybe you go off at tangents, which all of us do, I know. But no, try and keep it concise. This is one video where I would say prep is absolutely key. You need to think about what is your story, Maybe jot down a few notes, you know, the order of the story. And again, I'm not going to tell you what the order is, because sometimes you can flip it on its head and start with something that happened recently and then track back. But anyway, I'm not doing story outlines today. But this, you do need to prep this My Story video beforehand. But I guarantee that if you did a video that was about 3 minutes long, possibly up to 5, telling a story about walking in your customer's shoes and how you got to where you are today, people will be fascinated. And it's the kind of video that you can keep on your social media forever. Pin it on your pages, definitely have it obviously in your YouTube library, you know how I love YouTube libraries, and pull it out at various times, because remember, you're meeting new people all the time and they won't know your story. So this is a video that you can use again and again and again. I honestly believe that people will love to hear your story. I promise you, this is a fantastic way to connect with your customers. Now, I am going to go and make my story video, or maybe a few different versions, so that I can post an example for you below this video. In the meantime, if you already have a story video, please post the link below, because I would love to come and find out more about you via your story video. And if you haven't done a story video yet, make a decision now that you're going to do one this week, if not later today. It just takes a few minutes prep, jot down some notes, think about your customer, think about your journey, and then hit record. Keep it within 3 minutes, maximum of 5, and then post the results here in this group, because honestly, I love story videos. Okay, so that's me, Vicky Blades, your video coach, and just 17 minutes, not quite 15, but there you are. I hope you found this training about your story video useful. As always, please like and comment so that I know that you've seen it. Ask me any questions, tag me in a post, and I would love to know your story video. Thanks everyone, bye.